All right, so it's finally time to talk about the Fitbit Versa. I've been using it for well over 3 weeks. I have some opinions, some thoughts on whether or not you should buy this watch. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Phones, Drones, and Tech. I'm Original Dobo, and if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button at the end of this video. Been using this guy for the better half of 3 weeks. I've made a couple of videos about a screen protector and some bands for it, but I haven't really talked too much about this watch. Now, if you've been around my channel for a little while, you'll know that I've done a couple of reviews on smartwatches in the past. One of them being the Apple Watch Series 1, where I did sort of like a real world, no nonsense, just talk about the watch, whether or not it's a good buy or not. And I'm going to keep to the same tactic with this review here. This is going to be my real world review, no nonsense, no crazy B-roll or anything like that, just the watch and whether or not it's a good buy. So let's get the specs out of the way. So what do you get with this watch? Well, you get up to 4 days of battery life. In my testing, I found that battery life struggles a little bit more than Fitbit leads on to believe. And I'm able to get about 3 days, 3.5 days if I'm really pushing it. You're getting a awesome screen, 300 by 300 pixel resolution. It is a LCD screen. It's covered by Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and it has 1,000 nits of brightness, and it's very, very readable outside. Also, for an LCD screen, it's very, very inky. The blacks are super dark. I don't see any washout or any sort of overlapping on light. It just looks really good. It is also a capacitive touchscreen, which means you can touch and interact with it, unlike some of the Pebbles. So Pebble was acquired by Fitbit, I think it was back in 2016, and I was super, super sad when this happened. I actually had backed them for the Pebble Time Steel 2, which never obviously happened, and I was really excited for this watch. I owned a Pebble Time, I owned the Pebble, I owned the Pebble Round. They were all awesome watches, and I really loved the fun quirkiness about it. When Fitbit acquired Pebble, there was really no quirkiness about it. It was still very much Fitbit, and you can see that in the Ionic, and I totally skipped that watch. Even though it had GPS and all these fun features, it just didn't look like an attractive watch. Well, then they made this, which is the Versa, and it is very attractive. Yes, it looks like a mashup between the Pebble Time and the Apple Watch, but that's okay because they did it very well and they did it tastefully. Overall, this is a fitness tracker first. It's definitely a fitness tracker first, smartwatch second. So that's something you want to keep in mind. I've been using this pretty regularly for my workouts. I like the coach features where I can time my workouts and sort of monitor how it goes. It lets me know what time I get into the gym and when I need to get out of the gym. So from that aspect, I like. I also like that there is music control, but oddly enough, there is no Spotify support. So you get Deezer or Pandora as your two types of preferred music vendors, I guess, or streaming services that they offer. You can store Pandora and Deezer soundtracks to the watch. I don't know what the exact storage specs are, but you can do that and basically connect a Bluetooth headphone set to your Versa, which I have not done. I'm a Spotify streamer, so that's useless to me. I really don't know why Spotify's not there. I think that's a sort of a big loss on Fitbit's part. Hopefully that gets corrected and we'll see Spotify support later. For every other streaming service, you can enable music controls where you can change the volume on your phone, skip songs. You can't see playlists or anything like that, but that's okay because just being able to skip a song is fine with me and being able to see it. You can turn notifications on or off. There is no movie theater mode, and that I think is a big deal. No movie theater mode. That's something that should be here on this watch, but it's not. So I'd like to see that incorporated maybe later on down the road. Notifications. They are not very granular notifications, meaning it's all or nothing. You can turn notifications on or off for certain apps, which is great, but I can't really interact with those notifications, which is a bummer. I can tap on them, I can clear them from the watch, but when I clear them from the Fitbit, it doesn't actually clear off my iPhone. So that's sort of a disconnect. I know when I had Pebble, I can clear a notification here and it would clear it here. It would still be open in the background, but it would clear it off my lock screen. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Maybe Android is different. Again, I'm only speaking from an iOS standpoint, but that's sort of, a bummer. There is no microphone on this watch, so if you were hoping for voice dictation, you're going to have to wait for the Versa 2, and I'm almost certain that that would definitely have it. Now, this is the Versa, not the Versa Special Edition. If you buy the Versa Special Edition, you can take advantage of Fitbit's NFC payment types where you can use a credit card and just basically pay for things with your watch. I never found that really useful when I had my Apple Watch. I always seem to go to my phone, but again, to each their own. Let's talk about some of the things that I don't like. Now, if you watched my video when I was talking about the Fitbit bands, I don't like the band system on this, and the band system is very, very bad. They are removable bands. I believe they're 22 millimeter watch straps. Now, it doesn't really look like a proprietary band system, but there's these little clips and it has to be just on an angle so you can see the way the watch bands are basically flopping down. When you insert your band into the watch, it has to be exactly like this in order for it to function. Third-party bands definitely struggle to try to get in there, and if there's any excess of material, forget about it. The band isn't working. It's a struggle. It's not an easy thing to swap your bands out. So if you're someone like myself who likes to have a band for the gym, likes to have a band when you go out, it's not as easy as an Apple Watch where you can just basically slide a band out, slide a new band in with just the press of a button, and it's easy. You need fingernails and you need patience for these bands. So I would definitely like for the second generation to just go back to a basic 22 millimeter band like Pebble had on the Pebble Time or Pebble Time Steel. Those were great quick release bands and they were pretty easy to use. And you can use a vast array of different watch straps. One of my favorite websites to get watch straps from was Clockwork Synergy. And you can't use those as of now. These are definitely a proprietary band to a certain extent. I may buy some 22 millimeter bands just to see exactly how they actually fit in here and if there's going to be an issue. I don't know as of right now, but I'm just speculating that there would be. Build wise, I love it. It's water resistant. I shower with this almost every day. I was at a resort over the weekend and I was able to take it swimming. It is water resistant for, I believe, 165 feet. Or is it meters? I can't remember. I believe it's 165 feet, one of the two, but it's water resistant, which is fantastic. Again, there's no microphone, so there's no ports that you're going to have to worry about whether or not water is going to go in, whether or not water is going to get in. There is a proprietary charger on the back of this watch, which is sort of a bummer because if you keep your charger on your nightstand and let's say you're traveling, it's not like you can just plug it in with a micro USB. So maybe there will be some third-party chargers that we can use eventually and charge the Versa up. But overall, it's not bad. Again, with 4.5 days of battery life, if you're just going away for the weekend, make sure it's charged and you'll be fine. That's what I did. The App Store on the Fitbit is a mess. You can buy applications, but it sends you out to, or say you can buy watch faces, but it sends you out to some website. It's sort of shady. I think Pebble, gosh, I keep wanting to call it Pebble. I think Fitbit needs to fix that to where developers can charge right from within the app because that's a very huge security concern, at least from my perspective. Not only that, a lot of these watch faces don't tell you they're going to charge you until like 24 hours and your trial's over. Some do a great job of telling you, others don't. I actually set up this watch face here, which is a TTMM from Andrew Solomon, which these were on the Pebble, and I think these are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic watch faces, and they work great. But again, I had to pay for this. It was 99 cents. I had to buy it directly from their website, and then it gave me an unlock code on the watch to allow me to keep using it. Again, just a little weird, sort of shady, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, I do like this watch, but I don't think it's for everybody. It's not really a smartwatch. Again, fitness tracker first, smartwatch second. And the fact that you can't interact with notifications may be a big deal breaker for everybody. For me, I just like sort of being sort of separated from my watch, but still be able to check on notifications if I'm in the gym or in a meeting, and then being able to pick up my phone and respond. I know that seems sort of weird that, well, just turn your notifications on your phone, but sometimes it's easier to keep your phone on silent and this vibrate in your wrist than it is to have phone going off. For some people, I think this is going to be great, but for the vast majority, if you're trying to compare this to an Apple Watch, don't. This isn't an Apple Watch. It will never be able to compete with an Apple Watch. It's its own separate thing, but I think it right now is the best fitness tracker that you can get that looks this great. It doesn't look like a fitness tracker, and I think that's what's most attractive about it all. So that's it. That's my review of the Fitbit Versa. I know it was very lengthy and long-winded, but I like it. Overall, I definitely like it. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos about the Versa and accessories for this watch, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button so you know when videos like this drop on the channel. Again, I'm Original Dobo. I will catch you next time. Stay original.